Hi guys, my name is Mahdi. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're gonna talk about how much money I earned with a flatbed truck under my own MC number in a 20-day trip. Okay, but before we get to the point, we have to talk about I do have a 48-foot trailer, plus my company is new, and this was in the month of August and September, basically part of August, part of September. And we ran for 7,984 miles. Okay, and the total money we grossed is $15,950. That brings us up to $1.99 for all miles driven, and that brings us to $2.22 for loaded miles. Okay, I only had my loaded miles were 7,181 loaded miles basically. Okay, now let's talk about the expenses, right? The expenses, what like kills it all. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it's still like, I feel like when you gross some money it's good, but when you take out the expenses, like this shit of it gonna be left. Here, look at it. So for the fuel we paid $5,006.09. Okay, and for insurance we paid $1,651.86. For factoring we do go with what's it called, Vex Inc., and we paid 2.5%, so we paid $398.75. For dispatch we pay 7%, which it started to poke me a little bit. I think it's too much, honestly. Like when you add it all up, man, 7% is a lot of money, because think about it, 7% dispatch, 2.5% factoring, that's like 10% of what you make is gone before you even get it. Okay, so for dispatch we paid $1,116.50. For ELD we paid $70, and for load puller we paid $42. Truckstop.com. Miscellaneous we paid $36.50, and maintenance we paid $1,377.76, and that's because I had $1,000 oil change. I might make a video about that, I'm not sure. Yeah, the oil change are expensive, man. It was like $965. I was like, what? And then I do add my phone bill in there as $210, because you know it's a business. So I started to cut my phone bill out of what the trucking makes, because of my iPad I use in the truck, my phone, and plus stuff like that. Okay, so all the expenses all together came up to be $9,936.01. Okay, remember how much did we gross? We grossed $15,950, and we're gonna take out $9,936.01 from it. So what did the business net right here, right? The company net, before we even talk about me. The company money, the money left for the company is $6,015.99 in 20 days, right? But you have to think about it. Another expense is a driver pay. So how much did I pay myself? Well, I paid myself $2,000 basically. And what do I mean by I pay myself? I basically move the money from my business account to my personal checking account, right? And that comes up to be 25 cents a mile for almost, empty hand loaded. And you might be asking, is this worth it? Like, yeah, like, okay, the business made how much? The business made $4,015.99 at the end of the day, right? At the end of 20 days. And the driver made $2,000. And you might be asking, like, is that worth it? So basically, if you think about it, okay, let's say if I wanted to pay myself, like, let's say if I had a driver that would make how much do you drive a flatbed right now for? Like probably 60 cents, I would say, right? So let's say what would happen if I pay myself a 60 cent instead of 25 cents a mile, right? Hang on. Okay, so if I would pay myself a fair wage, I'm not even sure if that's a fair wage. I calculated at 60 cents a mile. Well, because when I was a company driver back in 2020, I was getting paid. Well, I started for 45 cents a mile, and then it quickly got raised up to 50 cents a mile. But then I used to get $200 per tarp, $200 per partial load, and plus $100 for extra drop. Yeah, that's what I would make back in 2019 to 2020 actually. So right now I just said, okay, let's say we pay driver a 60 cents a mile. I'm not even sure if that's a fair wage for a flatbed driver, but let's say it is, right? If we would pay the driver, which is me, a 60 cents a mile instead of a 25 cents a mile, the driver would make $4,790.40 in 20 days, right? And that's gross money the driver makes, right? And let's see, if we minus that by what the company netted, the company would be left over with $1,225.59. Okay, that's really not enough, man, as a company. Okay, now we are not talking about driver. The reason I pay myself so low, it's because I feel like the profit margin for the company is so low. It doesn't make enough money, right? And you might be like, well, you only ran for 7,984 miles, you know, why didn't you stay out longer and like drive for 10,000 miles? The reason is because I got stuck in Riverton, Wyoming, and I didn't had good loads, you know, and I could go to like Maryland for like $1.65 a mile, but I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just go home. So I did head back home and then got me a load from Idaho Falls to Franklin, Kentucky. But yeah, with that being said, let's go over the numbers one more time. The company grossed $15,950. All the expenses was $9,936.01. So the company left over with $6,015.99. Okay, I paid myself 25 cents a mile, which is $2,000, and the company left over with $4,015.99. Now, is it worth it? I don't know, man. I've been thinking like this month I'm gonna be running for hopefully like 30 plus days, and hopefully more than like 10, 11, 12,000 miles. I'm not sure. We'll see at the end of the month. Not at the end of the month, like at the end of the trip. We'll see if it's worth it or not. Yeah. Is it worth it? I don't know. You tell me down in the comment section. Look, yes, the owner operator would make more money than a driver, right? But you have to think about it. I did not have a truck and trailer payment. If I would, I wouldn't have fucking, like, I couldn't pay myself enough, and the company couldn't keep money anyway either. So, does it worth the risk to buy a truck, buy a trailer? Does it even, like, is the ROI enough? Well, I'm not saying it's bad. Like, okay, buying a truck is good, buying a trailer is good, but maybe making your MC and making your own company is not the best thing right now. Obviously, for me, it's either gonna work this way or no other way. You know, I'm not planning on like taking my truck going under anybody else's MC. Okay, the reason I'm here was to grow a company, not to be an owner, operator, driver, whatever, you know. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna go like that, and then we'll see what happens. All right, that was it for today's video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, whatever you do. And all right, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.